Hi, Lon. I'm so glad you came here today to meet with me so we can talk about how awesome Junkluggers is and how much we love working with you.
Thanks
So
so much for having me.
I wanted to introduce everybody to Lon Epstein of Junkluggers because we use Junkluggers, I would say all the time. Almost they've done so much work to help us with our projects when we have to, especially when we do estate clearance projects, and also when clients have more stuff than they can just take themselves over to Goodwill or the Salvation Army, which has had weird hours these days during the pandemic. And even if they are accepting stuff, you never know, whatever. So I just wanted to introduce everybody to Lon Epstein of Junkluggers because we really couldn't make some of the magic happen if we didn't have Junkluggers helping us. So Lon, can you tell me can you tell me how you got started in this business and what led you to Junkluggers?
Most definitely, and thanks again for having me, Janine. It's been a pleasure working with you and your team this year and over the years. Um, I've been with Junk Luggers officially about 6 years as of yesterday, actually.
Wow.
So 6 years.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, thank you. It's certainly been a an adventure. I first got started with Junk Luggers back in 2015 officially, but even before so, I've been around the brand for pretty much since the start. It was started by two of my friends. My one being my best friend from growing up. So him and his brother started the company back in about 2004 in Trumbull slash Fairfield, Connecticut, and I've just always been around the brand. And then fast forward, into 2013, a friend had bought a franchise, and I just he needed some help, and I was kind of transitioning into and out of a separate position, and lo and behold, here I am 6 years later. Never could have pictured or imagined myself sitting where I am, and it's been amazing.
That's great. What did you do before?
I was working in the trade show industry,
Oh,
uh, working for a company called Reed Exhibitions. They were, one of and are currently one of the largest trade show companies. So I was selling sponsorships and meeting packages, conference packages, things like that, and it was a blast. We ran New York Comic Con, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So got to work on a lot of cool programs and shows, and just was kind of looking for a different opportunity, and took a big risk, and it has paid off so far.
that's great. Um, I guess one of the things that I really like about Junkluggers is that you guys really make it possible for me to offer a greener option to my clients rather than, you know, getting stuff out and adding it to a landfill somewhere. What what do you think is that, I mean, I think that that's one of your biggest selling points, but what is it that you do so that you can explain to people who are listening and don't really know the difference between junk luggers and other junk companies?
Sure.
Um, what is the difference?
Yeah, so I think you nailed it right off the bat. Our commitment to keeping what we can out of the landfill through donating, reuse, and recycling the items that we pick up, both from apartments and homes, and also retail and commercial office spaces as well. We partner with local non-for-profits in the community. They can be government organizations, they can be public organizations. As long as it's a registered 501c3, we will provide them a donation of it could be a desk, a chair, it could be excuse me, clothes, you name it. We've really donated it, and our goal is to repurpose those items through our local community non-for-profits, and we provide a tax receipt back to our customer within 2 weeks of the job.
And is that, let me think, the other question I had for you. Oh, okay. So with the change that we all experienced with the pandemic, has there been some major change in junk luggers that you've had to adapt and kind of uh, change your operation or anything like that?
Yeah, great question. I think that if you're not adapting, then you're dying, right? I think we can all say that, especially right now, or you're really going to be struggled with a lot of different things. So I mean, there's a number of different things that we did. I would say first and foremost, just like everyone, we started to do virtual assessments, and that has really taken off. It's something that one would think, how come we didn't do this before? There was so much opportunity, especially in New York, with just people not being here or people not being able to make specific times or just getting caught up. So, I mean, that has just been without a doubt one of the biggest things that we pivoted with back in early April, May. So we offer virtual estimates, in person, whatever you got, whatever anyone needs, we really try to accommodate. The second thing is the donation aspect, right? That's why people hire us, is because of the difference uh, in the different approach that we take. The non-traditional approach to traditional junk removal, where it's just take it out and get rid of it, and no one really cares about what happens to it anymore. That's just really been a big change. People really do care about not necessarily where it goes, like who receives it, but they really are just focused on that it's not getting thrown out,
Mhm.
right? So while someone might be interested in getting the tax receipt, they might not even use it for tax purposes. They just want to see that it went to someone or somewhere. So we took a big pivot even before the pandemic, where our process used to just be, we would drive to a donation center, open up the truck, whatever the donation center or non for profit was interested in, it was theirs. And over the years, that just became increasingly more challenging, more difficult from a logistics standpoint, from a storage standpoint, and we just became handcuffed, and we were just not in charge of our own destiny. So we made some changes, and it was being piloted by our corporate team, and we essentially opened up our own small facility to receive the items that were donatable, and we would store them in a warehouse, which is now called Remix Market. And you can check out Remix Market, online, via Instagram, Facebook. But Remix Market is our professional fundraising arm of Junkluggers, and we partnered with Habitat for Humanity, and we receive the incoming items here at Remix Market, which is Junkluggers. And the items come in, we tag them, we log them with the customer's information, and then we send out a tax receipt from there via Habitat. But there's also a flip side, where we're actually also reselling some of the items on behalf of Habitat, and we donate 10% of the sale of that said item to Habitat. So I guess if I take a step back, we've taken control of our own destiny by deciding what comes off the truck, and we've been able to divert way more from the landfill. Last year alone, we were able to divert 26,000 items in New York City from local landfills, and that's a huge accomplishment to us. We really, like I said, were handcuffed before with regards to some locations just not accepting certain things, and I think that we can all agree and have experienced that. You show up and they don't take certain things, and now you're stuck with it, and it's a great piece and you don't know what to do with it. And this resale arm that we created has really opened doors to allow us to divert way more, get way more creative, and also donate more, now that we've kind of taken on our own space. So it's been a big challenge, it's been a big learning experience, a big adventure, and we just signed a new lease actually in Long Island City for Remix Market. So
Oh, that's great. So is Remix Market something that people can actually go and shop?
yes,
Cool.
absolutely. So uh, all of the items that are filled in Remix Market or that are in Remix Market come from Junkluggers. It's a consumer facing, we have our license from the Department of Consumer Affairs, so anyone can come inside and and purchase anything that they see in there. While also at the same time, a non-for-profit can come in and say, "Hey, I need some chairs, or I need some desks, or I need a bookcase," and they can take it for free. It's interesting, right? Everything is technically for sale, but um, if you're a non-for-profit, you can come in and take it for free.
That's awesome. So, how about you? What's changed for you since the pandemic started, since we're in 1 year anniversary?
Sure, sure. I think the biggest thing personally, I got engaged, so that was exciting.
Congratulations.
Uh, I was in Australia actually at the start of the pandemic,
Oh,
and
wow.
that was on February 22nd. And we went out to Australia. We were in Sydney, then we were in Melbourne, and then we went to New Zealand. And we were gone for 2 weeks, and it was really right at the end of our trip where Zach, who's our franchise owner at Junkluggers, called me and said, "Don't come home. You know, things have gone insane, and the world is in turmoil, and you should just stay in New Zealand." uh, but aside from that, I've been very fortunate at Junkluggers, where we have been deemed an essential business and have really operated pretty much the whole time since the start of the pandemic. We were only closed for about 10 days. So, I guess I'm just really grateful and very fortunate, as is a lot of our team here, that we were able to, stay employed and employ a lot of individuals as well. So I think I'm just grateful for that.
That's great. Well, I have to tell you that your team has been really great and very helpful, um, over the years that we've been, you know, sending photos saying, "Hey, how about this?"
Sure.
And getting quotes, and also, when we have to do a major clean out, like there'll be some pictures here of clean outs. And, that stuff that, even in years past, I would not have felt good about it. There have been, over the years and years ago, you just call in the junk guys, and you knew that stuff was just going into the landfill. And there's so much stuff that people kind of collect over their lifetime. When we're cleaning out an apartment that somebody's been in for 50, 40, 20 years, they have so much stuff in there, and it's like their whole life, is in the stuff. And it makes me just want to throw stuff out when I get home.
Yeah, it's eye opening, and sometimes it's sad, but that's why we love working with your team and people like yourself. Not that there's anyone just like Janine, in the team, but in the industry, you just make it so easy for us, coming in, everything's just organized and it's just ready to go. And even if it's not ready to go, there's a clear direction as to what's what we need to be doing, as opposed to us just showing up to a customer that just has no idea what's going on, and we're managing the process. And while we try to say that we're experts at it, we can all improve in some ways.
Yeah, I agree. We can all improve. I'm working on that right now. So I really do hope that people reach out to you. You're on my speed dial, so as you well know, since I
Oh yeah,
call you so often.
one text away.
Yes. And I think, you know, if you are getting rid of stuff and you really do care a little bit more about the environment than the average person, I always recommend you guys.
Thank you, thank you. It means a lot. We appreciate it.
Now we just have to get you, you know, getting the organizers to work for you so that we can get things ready and it goes very smoothly. I
Yeah, yeah. We thought about that. That's a really good idea and a really good approach.
Yeah. it's partnership.
Definitely.
So, oh, except for like acts of God or elevators breaking.
Oh
I've really appreciated also your flexibility, when something goes wrong that is totally out of our control, which, as a control freak, that really does bother me.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
But,
When
you guys have been flexible, easy to work with. Your guys come in, get the job done, and we don't have to worry too much about what's going to happen at the end. They even sweep sometimes, which is really
that's the goal.
sweet.
Room
So
clean.
thank you, Lon. I really appreciate you taking the time today to come and talk to me.
My pleasure. My pleasure.